So from time to time, Kaylee and I like to binge found footage movies. And recently we watched like 20 of them in a row. We reviewed a ton of them. And two of them came from a director named Isaac Rodriguez, who directed Last Radio Call and
Deadware.
Deadware.
Yes.
And we quite like both. And I am part of this Facebook found footage movie group. And Isaac Rodriguez, the director, is part of that group. And he had shown us today that his film, Mr. Creep, was available on Tubi. Of course, it's Tubi. They have every found footage movie, pretty much every freaking made. And so we checked out that, and also on Tubi is A Town Full of Ghosts, another film that he made, both in 2022. So he's cranking them out.
Yes.
Now, the synopsis on this on IMDb is 3 college students stumble upon a secret television broadcast of a deceased serial killer and search for its location. This gives me, just the synopsis itself, it gives me the vibes of Signal broadcast intrusion, as well as Channel Zero Season 1 Candle Cove.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the movie?
I like this movie. I thought it was actually really effectively made. I think that there's some really cool visual stuff with, like, just some things that go on. I don't want to give away spoilers, but I like the look. I liked the effects that were used, and there's one scene in particular that I know we both really loved. Just like the entirety of the scene was really creepy and unsettling and unexpected. But I think this had a really good feel to it, and I the pacing is great. It's only an hour or so long, so
Yeah.
it is really quick, but it didn't feel too short or too long. I feel like it's the perfect length. I like the acting from everybody, and yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
So I think a caveat with any time we do one of these types of movies, we need to always state that this is ultra low budgets,
Yeah.
found footage. And there are people that are fans of this subgenre and this style of filmmaking where it's amateur.
Mm-hmm.
The acting in it is amateur. The camera work and everything is amateur. So you have to be into this style, because I know that a lot of people who watch like mainstream studio budget horror watch this kind of stuff and kind of stick their nose up at it and see it as subpar garbage. And so I do always want to kind of throw that caveat in here because it is important. And I think at this point we've amassed quite a found footage following because of how many we reviewed, especially in a row when we did that huge long marathon of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of review is mostly for our found footage fans, because it's rare when I see a found footage film that I genuinely think is going to win over non-found footage fans.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a hard sell. Like, if you don't like the style,
Right.
it's going to take one hell of a film to really pull you in. And I don't think this is that film. But for people who are into ultra low budget found footage films, I do think that this is a pretty effective one. And I think that Isaac did a really good job with this, as usual. He has this specific style that he goes for, and I think he does it very well. So I look forward to more stuff that he does in the future if he sticks with this. But I looked on his IMDb, and he's got a few comedies in the works.
Oh, okay.
And he even did like a family comedy, like Jurassic something. Wait, what was it? Jurassic. Oh shit! I hit the wrong freaking button. Jurassic Tale, that's right. And he's got a new movie out called The Astral Woods, and he's directing another horror anthology called The Tales from Los Muertes. But yeah, I think that number one, Mr. Creep, the titular character here that we see within the film, has a very unsettling, creepy look and feel to him.
Yes.
So really good job on that. And then the sequence in which Kaylee was talking about involves I wouldn't say an interview, but it's a what? Not an interrogation. It is more somebody like getting interview. Questioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is kind of interview style with an older lady.
Yeah.
That scene I thought was excellent. I like the acting from her. I like how that scene ended twice.
Yes.
I was really surprised both times and really enjoyed the hell out of it and was like, wow, that was actually, one of my favorite horror sequences of this year. So big, shout out on that scene in particular and the look of Mr. Creep.
Yes.
There is definitely some questioning of like logic and like, people pushing boundaries and going places and doing things they probably shouldn't, but welcome to horror movies. But yeah, the acting is all adequate for this film.
Yeah.
I think that as far as the story goes, it's fairly basic, but I did like the inclusion of this broadcast, even if ultimately it doesn't really amount to all that much. As far as like a storyline goes, there's not some major payoff. The main focus of the film is the creep factor, the scares, right? It's not really concerning itself too much to be some plot-driven story, right?
Sure.
Like there's some elements, and it's just really to kind of get characters from point A to point B to make this, the scares happen. So yeah, I wouldn't go into it looking for much of a story, but the story that we get is fine. It's adequate enough, and there's some cool sequences with a really cool main antagonist, and it's short. So, I do think that with films like this, I love being able to throw one of these on, and it never overstays its welcome. It's done in an hour. It's crazy to me to still think that Skinamarink was an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
And that one sequence we were talking about is better than that whole film. And that was it's like a 5-minute sequence. So but that's our taste.
That is our taste.
And that's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely a recommendation for found footage fans who like stuff like his other previous films or any of the other lower budgeted found footage films that we had done. This would go on probably another like lesser known found footage list if we made another one, along with like the Blackwell. No, not Blackwell. What's the Blackwater Vampire?
For some reason I thought that was on our list.
It was on our list.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh, you're like
I'm comparing it to other
see.
things
I was like, wait.
like this. Fear footage too, and stuff like that. That's same kind of quality of stuff. So if you like those kinds of movies or his other two features that we had mentioned here, this is another win for him. This is 3 for 3 for me with him. Unfortunately, we're now going to talk about the other one in another video, and that one did not hit for me, but we'll talk about that in the other video. So we'll see you there. Bye.